Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Born to Succeed podcast channel, the number one podcast channel on the planet for helping you become successful both on a personal and professional level. I am your host, Michael Merritt. I'm so glad to be with you guys here today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I hope everybody's feeling well. I know there's a scary time that everybody's feeling very anxious and faith over fear. And if you follow me at all, I say that all the time. I base my beliefs off of God and faith, and where is that going to lead me in the future? And so, guys, I've got a lot of notes written down today, and so I'm going to share some things with you. I've got a message, but the name of my podcast today is actually Don't Hit Click. And in today's society, everybody is, of course, click, 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 right? And so I thought a great message would be to say, don't hit click today. So I'm going to talk about some things with you today on the podcast and the channel. But first, I want to say to those that have listened to me, to those that have seen my videos at all, that you have hopefully gained something from those. Miss Barbara, I can tell you honestly that when I read your post on my video yesterday, I actually welled up with a little tear in my eyes, saying that you're missing your family, and that you watched my video that I made, and it helped you and inspired you to get through the morning. And I can tell you that I actually welled up over that. I was showing that to my wife, and it means so much to me to be able to make a difference in your life or anyone's life. So, Miss Barbara, I love you, hun. Known you for a long time. Thank you so much. Abby, everybody else out there in that Denton group that you know who I'm talking about. Miss Barbara tagged me in a post out there, so thank you so much. It means the world to me. Miss Barbara, I love you to death. All right, so guys, let's talk about some things today. Let's talk about how to have a don't click mentality. All right, so let's talk about, like, what are we supposed to be doing in life right now? You should be doing more than ever preparation and planning. Because when I am in any mode in life, I am going to do what? To get to the next level. I am going to plan. I'm going to set that plan, right? That always starts with a goal and setting a plan. And guys, that's where life coaches come in. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have a life coach, you need a life coach. I promise they can help you a ton, all right? A ton. Because you can get from stuck to unstuck. You've got to set goals. You've got to go through a lot of things here, okay? But that starts with planning. When we plan and set a plan, then I can start to prepare. And once I prepare and I am prepared, then I can expect to win. Plan, prepare, and expect to win. You don't get on stage and just, here I go, right? I mean, just Demi Lovato, did she just get on stage and somehow be able to sing? Of course she didn't. Jamie Foxx, a famous actor from Terrell, Texas. Old Jamie, shout out to Jamie. Hey, do you think he just walked out and became an actor? No, they had a plan. They put in their mind that someday I'm going to do this. And then they prepared, and then they expected to win. And it's those three steps, guys. Plan, prepare, and expect to win. And if you don't do those things, you're really never going to reach your goals. You're never going to reach the successful level that you could be, because that's what you have to do. You have to plan, you have to prepare, and you have to expect to win. That's where a positive mindset comes in, all right? So every day in every way. Right now, what I'm telling people is just stop. Take a breath. Do something different than you normally do, because I'm telling you, this isn't the average time, right? Right now is when you need to stop. Okay, what am I going to plan? What's the next plan? And then what do I need to do to prepare myself for that, right? Because maybe I need to prepare myself to go back to school to become something else. Maybe I need to prepare myself for my passion that I truly have in my life, to do that in my life versus what I was doing before. And now I've got this reprisal, and I can say, what do I really want to do in life? Really all my life I've wanted to do this, and I'm stuck here. Okay, well then you need to get there, all right? And a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, guys. I could give you prophets' names, things like that, guys, and I'm just going to tell you that I read stuff every single day. I listen to, whether it's religious podcast, regular podcast. I look up information. I read. I try to put good stuff inside of me, which is what I tell you guys. Input equals output, all right? If you haven't got with a life coach yet, guys, again, I'm just going to throw that out there real quick. MerrittCoachingGroup.com. Myself, my wife, Elisa, MerrittCoachingGroup.com is our website. Get on there, contact us. We'll contact you back, give you a shout. We'll talk for 30 minutes. Free 30-minute call. We'll find out where you're at. If you're stuck, we can get you to the unstuck side. We need to figure it out for you, all right? But the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and it starts with what? Your mindset. I am now going to change where I'm at today. But Mike, I need a little motivation to do that, right? Of course you do. And you're going to need it daily. You're going to need it daily because it's like a bath, right? You take a bath every day to wash off the stink. I need motivation every day to get me up and awake and aroused. I need Mike in front of me every day saying, you can do this. Let's get it. Yeah, even when you don't want to. Now, so you have to have that inside you, right? But it has to be daily, guys. I tell people to encourage you. I read the Bible every morning. I encourage you, get up every day. Good input. Good input will equal good output. I mean, input equals output, right? Okay? So, every day, let's put good stuff into us. Motivation. Read something good. Listen to a podcast. Watch a video, all right? Because this is all stuff that's going to put good information into us. And then you can be a mover and a shaker and a doer and an entrepreneur. Because that's what I think of myself. I think I'm a mover and a shaker and a doer and an entrepreneur. And I want you to be the same way. We need to be excited about life. We need to live life, not just exist. Guys, we're not just put here to exist. You've heard me say that if you've listened to any of my podcasts, all right? So right now, I just want you to take a step back. Take a breath. Okay, where am I at and where am I going? Let me see. One step. Okay, that's movement, right? And now I've created motion. And once I've created motion tends to do what? It tends to stay in motion. I think that's a law, right? Once an object is in motion, then it tends to stay in motion unless acted upon about outside force. I think that's called law of inertia, right? Yeah, something like that, right? Isaac's law, I don't even know. But right now, you know what I'm talking about. It acts, it goes. Once there's motion, here we go. Right? Okay. And that motion then stays in motion. And then at that point, that motion starts to do what? It starts to feel good, right? Because once I get up and I start moving, start exercising, it doesn't matter what I do, it starts to feel good. At first, it's painful. If you've worked out, you know what I'm talking about. And then when you don't work out, what happens? Man, I haven't worked out 6 months. I worked out. I am so sore. I can't move. It was painful. Oh, it's painful. I'm not doing it again. And what happens? You end up hurting yourself, and then you maybe don't go back again, because you overstressed yourself because you didn't work out in a long time. It's painful at first, guys. But once you start the motion, now I start to get into the groove and I start to create a habit. And that's what we want to do, right? Yeah, we want to create good habits. The only way to replace bad habits with a good habit, you can't continue the bad habits and expect a good outcome. It doesn't happen. Okay? So input equals output. Good habits replace bad habits. I mean, if I'm a recovering alcoholic, I don't hang out at the bar. If I do, I'm not thinking right. If I'm a recovering gambler, I don't go to Choctaw and say, I just like to hang out, watch everybody else win. That's just not real smart, right? So break the bad habits and replace them with good habits. Read, good input, all those things, all right? So it starts with day one, creating motion. It's movement. All right, I've got the motion going. Now I'm moving. I'm making myself. I'm motivating myself. And I'm looking for outside motivation and inspiration. And really, I'm doing a lot of what? Mind over matter. Mind over matter. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to make myself do it. And you have that ability to do that with every single thing. You have the ability every day to wake up and say, I'm going to make this a great day. Yesterday was not a good day, but it ended when I went to bed. And a brand new day started today when I woke up. Isn't that great? Every day. But you have that ability to do that. Many of us don't. You have to be like a quarterback in football. Boy, they have broadcasters, what they say all the time. You have to have a short memory, right? You've heard them say that. You know what they're talking about. It means because they can throw an interception on one play, come out the very next time on the field, and forget that. Now it's time to move on. It's time to move to the next play. Here we go. Here we go. It make a bad play. A running back fumbles football. You got to forget that and move right on instantly, just like that. Boom, boom. And we've got to do the same thing. Create motion. Get up. Day 2. Mind over matter. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Day 3. Now I've created a habit. Day 3. On the 3rd day, you've now created a habit. And a habit feels what? It feels good. And I've now created a streak. A habit and a streak. Man, it feels good to be on a streak, doesn't it? Especially for those folks that have give up goals. If you've never heard of give up goals, guys, those are the ones that we say, I'm going to give up. I'm going to give up smoking. I'm going to give up Twinkies, whatever it is, right? Those are what we call the give up goals, okay? So, excuse me. Once you've created a streak, guys, it feels good to say that. Man, I haven't smoked in 30 days. That feels good. It feels good inside, right? And you start saying, I have this streak built up. And the more I go, the better I feel. And man, now the wheels are in motion. And now I'm like a locomotive, man. And it's rolling and it's rolling. And I don't want to stop this motion. There is no way. And so then the mindset becomes, let's just keep doing this because this now feels good. And I've replaced the bad habit with a good habit. And I have accountability to myself. And now I start feeling really good about that. And I'm telling myself, wow, look at me. I am doing good job. I am doing good work. Man, that's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. Anybody ever told you that before? Man, you're doing a good job. Yeah, it's because doing a good job, we should be told that. It's not everybody can do good work or do a good job. So we need to tell ourselves that. Man, I'm working good. I created the motion. Here I am, right? And the why part of that is because why? Because now you're not just existing. You're taking that motion. You're taking it and moving it and living today. Okay? And guys, I'm telling you, once you start moving to that next level, you're going to transform your life before your very eyes. You're going to take your vision. And what your vision is going to do is it's going to take what's in your head, your imagination, your vision, okay, because only God gave it to you. When people say, I don't know about that. Well, it's not in your head. That's why you don't see it. It's in my head. So don't ever believe those limiting beliefs of other people, guys, okay? But it's going to transform your life, your vision, one step at a time. And you've made the motion. Now we're going, rocking, we're rolling. And now what? What do I say now? Man, life's a journey now, man. Here we go on this rock and roll roller coaster, baby. And now I get to live life, not just exist in life, right? Because life is a journey. It's not a destination, guys. Okay? You don't have to live life. You get to live life. Zig Ziglar told stories all the time throughout his presentations, and I watched a webinar with his son the other day, Tom, and he was talking about Zig, and I thought it was a great story, so I wanted to share it with you. And he basically said, he was 15 years old, and as all 15-year-olds on Sunday, he wanted to sleep late, and Zig got him up, and he said, son, it's time to get ready, we're going to church. And he knew good and well Zig was a huge faith follower, and he knew he wasn't going to get out of going to church. But he did say, hey, Dad, do I have to go to church? Do we have to go to church? I just want to sleep late like all the other kids get to do. And Zig said, son, we don't have to go to church. We get to go to church. We get to get out and be with people that are like-minded. And we get to go into a building together and praise someone that died for us. And that's an amazing thing, guys. Okay? So in my messages, I always talk about faith. I thought it was so great, and that reminds me of life. You don't get, you get to live this, man. You don't have to. You get to. It's a blessing. Okay. All right. So now when we stop thinking that way, we think what? Well, yeah, this is a journey. It is a journey. And along the way, you get to see amazing and beautiful things. Are there going to be trials and tribulations and challenges along the way? Of course there is. Of course. That's called life. All right? Now, anybody ever heard the movie called Click by Adam Sandler? If you've ever heard of this movie called Click by Adam Sandler, that's where today's message came from. Don't hit click, all right? Adam Sandler's movie Click was basically about a guy that had a family, just like many of us do, with a couple kids. And I'm not going to tell you the whole gist of how he gets this remote control, but he gets this remote control. And if you've never seen the movie, go watch it. But I'm going to ruin the ending for you because I have to tell this story, okay? It made such an impact on my life that I cannot not share it. So, he gets this remote, and the way that he gets this remote control, again, you're going to have to watch the movie. But basically, long and short is that he has a remote control just like on TV, and he can click fast forward or stop or pause or play or whatever he wants to do. Well, what he does in life is that every time the kids cry, every time the wife says something when he gets home or the dog barks, is he just hits fast forward. And then he stops and he lives when he wants to. And then he continues to hit fast forward and click, 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 click through life. And later on down the line, he's now an older man. He's in his late 50s. He's overweight. He's clicked his way through life instead of living it. And he's at an event and he's looking around and he's realizing, man, I'm older and look at this and my kids are older, and he starts having chest pain. And right before his very eyes, he starts realizing that, man, I could possibly die. And that's where I'm going to stop as far as the movie, and I'll watch that movie. And guys, I'll tell you, after the end of the movie, I was so emotionally moved, and this is comedy. I'm like, man, what? I was crying. I watched this movie in 2007, so this was 13 years ago. I was 34 years old at the time. I cried after watching this movie. And if anybody makes fun of me for crying, well, go ahead. That's fine. I'm an emotional guy. I'll share my emotions up and down either way, right? Whether they're hyper or this or that or whatever, okay? But I cried. And the reason I cried, guys, is because I was 34 years old, and I realized up to that point, from the time I was probably 16, 17 years old, that all I had ever really done is I had clicked through life, just like Adam did. When it came to the kids, I was there. I was the quote-unquote perfect dad. I mean, I was a firefighter, paramedic, was there for my kid, my sisters, my dad, everybody that needed me. I was the soccer coach, the baseball coach, the basketball. I was the school mom. I mean, I was there. But I did all those things because I loved my son and my sisters and whatever, but I always just really think back to doing those things because I just felt like I had to do them. I just felt like if I wanted to be the best dad or the best big brother, that's what I should do. And so that's why I did it. I don't think that I did it because I really wanted to do it. And so when I look back at life, a lot of times I was doing nothing more than just clicking and going, let's just get through today, man. Just get through today. And then the next shift and the next shift. And let's just get through to the next time that I get some free time of my own. Whenever the heck that is, I get some free time, then that's my time and good and great. And until then, here we go again. And that's not living, guys. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm not kidding you. I cried afterwards because I knew that was me. I had been clicking my way through life. Don't click. That's the title of today's message. Don't click. Don't hit click. Okay? So, what you have to do is what? I have to live. I have to exist. No more. I have to live life. I have to want to be here, right? So, on this brief journey, guys, we have to say no hitting click. I have to realize this is an incredible journey. There's beautiful moments in my life, right? Are there going to be trials or tribulations? Of course there are. How you come out on the other side of that, that makes you who you are. That's called character. You would not have character if everything you ever had in your life was easy. If everything in life was a beautiful, pleasant moment, you wouldn't know what beautiful and pleasant was. That's why even when there's trials and tribulations and hurts, you have to say what? I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the bad times to help me be even more thankful when everything is running like a smooth, oiled gear. Here we go, right? Life's a journey. It's not a destination. Guys, remember that, all right? I'm telling you right now, live life today. Tomorrow is never promised. It is not promised, and you know that. We are born, and we die, and somewhere in between there, we're supposed to make a difference. There's a reason we're here on purpose, for a purpose, with a purpose. Okay? Guys, much love to you all. I hope you received this message. I hope that you have gotten something out of this message. Again, if at first you don't succeed, you do what? You try and try again, all right? Guys, you are born to succeed. I know that because you're champions. Champions. And if you've not been told you're a champion before, you are. You're a winner. You were a champion before you were ever even born. God made you that way, all right? Don't stop that mindset. I'm a champion. I'm a winner. I'm the most unique person that I know. Why do you think that is? It's because you're the only one like you. Guys, much love to you all. Hey, I hope to make a difference in your life. Again, merrittcoachinggroup.com. If you need a life coach, myself, my wife, check us out. Have a blessed day. Born to succeed.